Although the Gossip Girl remake was able to capture some of the appeal of the original HBO series, it has yet to produce a strong antagonist like Georgina. How has Monet fared playing the role of a villain? Who is more dangerous between Georgina and Monet? Also, find out what Thomas Doherty has to say on the Gossip Girl reboot by watching this video to the end. First up, Georgina's absence was felt in the Gossip Girl reboot. Monet presented a significant threat to the Constance Billard School's equilibrium at the beginning of the Gossip Girl reboot season 2, but no matter what she tries to accomplish, she cannot stand a chance against the iconic villain Georgina Sparks from the first season. Although Monet DeHaan's attempts to overshadow Julian Calloway were first mentioned in Gossip Girl season 1, she was only successful in attracting the attention of her other students in Gossip Girl season 2. Monet may strive to dominate Constance Billard and St. Jude schools, but she has yet to prove to be a threat on the same level as Georgina Sparks. Over the course of 6 seasons, the original Gossip Girl featured a number of villainous characters, but none did as much harm as Georgina. Georgina created turmoil and permanent harm, something absent from the Gossip Girl reboot, which should be meaner, not to be viewed as a failure in comparison to the original Gossip Girl. In contrast, other villains sought to pursue their goals. While Monet DeHaan's ascent to the position of a student at the top of Constance Billard's hierarchy in the second episode of season 2 of the Gossip Girl reboot might have suggested that she would be upsetting things similarly to Georgina, this isn't the case, and the reason can be found in Monet's motivation. Up next, although Monet may be Julian's enemy, she is not Georgina. When Luna and Monet urged Julian to concentrate on her influencer career because it would help their future jobs as Julian's social media managers, Monet's emergence as Julian's adversary was first hinted at in the first season of the Gossip Girl revival. While Monet was Julian's enemy in Gossip Girl season 2, episodes 1 and 2, and even someone succeeding in doing so, she never showed Georgina's propensity to revel in disruption. Instead of targeting all of Julian's pals, Monet wants to depose Julian as the main character in the Gossip Girl reboot, demonstrating that she isn't as dangerous as Georgina was in the first Gossip Girl. Chaos always followed Georgina's appearance in Manhattan in Gossip Girl. If Georgina had been involved in any scheme to bring someone down, whether she helped the main character or sought to take them down, heads would have undoubtedly fallen. Georgina also injured people arbitrarily if it suited her, as she did in Gossip Girl season 3 when she convinced Dan that she was carrying his kid, or in season 1 when she first made an appearance and blackmailed Serena into maintaining her party girl lifestyle. In the Gossip Girl reboot, Monet might have been able to bring Julian down, but she never demonstrated the same ability to cause havoc as Georgina did. Up next, Constance Billard's order is what Monet wants to maintain by replacing Julian. Because of her opportunism, Monet was consistently portrayed as the character in the Gossip Girl reboot who was most likely to flip on Julian and her pals. Monet's effectiveness in getting Constance Billard students to put on their formal attire and follow orders may have given the impression that she was a bad guy. Still, her main priorities had always been acquiring power and replacing Julian. Unlike Monet, who made a huge deal of needing to be in the spotlight, Georgina exuded power and didn't need to display it. She instead used it all to pull other people down. Because she felt Julian was stealing the show from her when all she wanted was to be the center of attention, Monet started the debutante ball riot in the Gossip Girl reboot season 2, episode 1. This demonstrates that although Monet may threaten Julian, her objectives aren't as evil as Georgina's. Unfortunately, the Gossip Girl reboot still lacks a powerful adversary with the ability to knock anyone to their knees like Georgina, which prevents it from correcting the flaws of the original and also limits its ability to capture the essence of what made the initial Gossip Girl so outstanding. Finally, Thomas Doherty and the Gossip Girl reboot. reboot. Doherty portrays Max Wolf, a disturbed, hedonistic youngster who finds himself in a mixed-gender trio after having sex with his teacher and most ab-sporting males in the Upper East Side. Based on the best-selling books by Cecily von Ziegesar, the original Gossip Girl series ran on the CW network from 2007 to 2012. It became a classic text for the millennial generation, making its stars teen idols while igniting a great deal of parental fury. The program followed a group of affluent teens as Gossip Girl. An anonymous blog that tracked their every action revealed their convoluted, scandalous lives. In a last-ditch effort to discipline the following generation of students, Constance Billard private school teachers recreated the blog on Instagram 10 years later. Gossip Girl 2.0 remains a microcosm of how much television and broader society have evolved over the past 10 years. It is now expected that TV dramas will address the current political issues using a more varied cast of characters. This is especially true for programs that focus on young people. The American High School is the new political theater on television, portraying a younger generation that is tuned in and involved, from Euphoria to 13 Reasons Why. For an actor like Doherty, this is under pressure, but it also fits with his straightforward nature. He's never far from dramatic drama and intrigue as pansexual playboy Max. Off camera, he is surprisingly low-key, carefree, and even profane. As it turned out, the pushback started before the HBO revival even aired, precisely like in the first season of Gossip Girl. According to W Magazine, the thought of the show being a woke revival caused millennials to recoil. It's true that the HBO series has characters who march in anti-gentrification demonstrations and use language associated with oppressed communities. Because privilege is at the core of this show, it's clear that these wealthy children are fluent in the vocabulary of checking their privilege, which Canva created for Instagram infographics. Before social media took off, Gossip Girl's principal characters, including Serena Vanderwoodson and Blair Waldorf, were made into influencers. The new incarnation, which features characters who already discuss their lives online while balancing paid partnerships and education, marks the fulfillment of that prophecy. When Gossip Girl, a legend of New York City, is revived, instant celebrity rapidly turns into infamy. The elite feel vulnerable in this new, democratic digital environment because they are on the verge of extinction socially rather than economically. Doherty's childhood was a sharp contrast to the Gossip Girl teens' teen years. He claimed that even traveling to New York and seeing a yellow cab is so foreign and idealized when one is from a location like Edinburgh in Scotland. He recalled that as a child, he always knew he was destined to be an actor, before apologizing if that seemed conceited. Early aspirations of becoming wealthy, well-known, and Leonardo DiCaprio's co-star in movies quickly gave way to the somewhat less glamorous reality of attending a musical theater program in Edinburgh. Doherty held a variety of odd jobs after receiving his degree. He worked various shifts in pubs, restaurants, shops, and call centers, and even briefly shared a housekeeping job with some Polish immigrant ladies. He couldn't afford to reside in London, where most auditions occur, but eventually got his big break when he was cast as Sean Matthews in The Lodge, a Disney Channel musical drama and mystery series. As a result, he has been cast in Disney's Descendants 2, a musical fantasy television film released in 2017, and returned for Descendants 3 in 2018. The 2020 romantic comedy series High Fidelity, starring Zoe Kravitz, was the following. This confirmed his position as one of TV's newest heartthrobs, and The Cut devoted an entire story to explain why he is so attractive. Doherty is a pleasant conversation partner because he avoids waxing lyrically about his accomplishments as an an actor. In other instances, he even approaches sounding sorry for it. Doherty added that Disney was his first choice, and it entered that space, and it was a little harder to get out once one was in there. He began to feel like he wasn't performing the actions he had always envisioned. The Venn diagram was discussed, which illustrated how, as a creative, the work people truly love doesn't always line up with the work that sorts the bills or garners the most attention, making it all the more fulfilling on the infrequent instances when it does. According to Doherty, some people are fortunate and may jump right into occupations where they're doing what they've always wanted to do, just like with any career. He added that it's unquestionably a stepping stone item for most people. This candor is a hallmark of the Scottish. Southern English people are more often connected with the archetypal British stereotype of flowery language and tiptoeing around issues. However, a more specific myth holds that when you travel further north in the United Kingdom, that myth vanishes. Scots are more renowned for being direct, using profanity, and occasionally making fun of other people. Doherty found out what his parents thought about his going to posh events like the Met Gala, representing Dior Beauty, and having as many Instagram followers as the entire country of Scotland. He claimed they were quite happy with him, but they didn't belong in that world. They told him to do his thing. Monet becomes a threat to Constance Billard's school in season 2 and tries to cause trouble. Despite her actions, she still can't match the kind of damage Georgina Sparks causes. Tell us what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.